3, 2, 1, action. I'm delighted to honor a student that I have taught for the past 3 years, a leading member of Cole Bay House, and an important presence in my classroom, Anthony Cedeno. Over the years, I have gotten to know Anthony and can attest to the many things he has brought John Paul II. He has been an especially valuable leader in Cole Bay House, where he has often brought our attention to the true meaning of docks, along with the great value in our house's snowball event and its connection to the March for Life. I've also come to an appreciation for his unique wisdom, artistic talent, and various insights. All of this is especially true and has been literally on display because during these years, Anthony regularly left interesting, sometimes wise, quotes of the day on the board. This past year, he also left a number of drawings, often an interpretation, of the person who said the quote, or a dramatic rendering of the quote itself. Our students obviously respect and revere great art when they see it, because rarely have these drawings or quotations been erased, except when Anthony went to make a new one. This shows that not only are his classmates aware of his sense of humor and artistic talent, but they also know that Anthony has great depth and is not scared to pose thought-provoking ideas and questions. I saw this during class over the years and know that he will continue to discover more and more of his talents. Congratulations, Anthony.
This is about Alex Nunez. Alex is special to JPII as he is one of the first students to be at JPII in the 7th grade. He's been here for 6 years. He's an elite group, to be sure. Alex started at JPII in the 7th grade, and I could still see him in my 7th grade English class sitting there by the window and just soaking in up all the knowledge that he was to come to have. I have one vivid memory, though, of Alex, and we had a creative writing class, and he and Colin Deering wrote a short story. It was a little longer than short, and it was about Albert the Donut, and it was a long saga, and it was about Albert the Donut. You had the whole class laughing, both you and Colin, and if I recall, I don't think it ended well for Albert. Alex is also a founding member of Savio House. He was there at the beginning, offering his time and talents and his spirit to our house and to keep it going all these years. He was always the first to make donations in our fundraising efforts for Advent families, Lenten families, and of course St. Jude. Alex has been involved in JPII sports. He's one of the beginning members of our soccer team, and he is a supporter of everybody else's sports as well. What I really now see in Alex is his voice has deepened, and that has a bit of a metaphor to it. He started out as this squeaky-voiced kid sitting in the corner of English class, and now he is a mature man ready to face the world and representing JPII, Savio House, and for certain, he will be the miracle.
So a teacher friend of mine, when we were on lunchroom duty in the Commons, asked me an interesting question. He said, do you ever look at these kids and wonder who you might have been most like when you were in high school? I think about that question each year that I have all those new faces in front of me, and I have found that I often come up with the same answer each year. So Laura Mast. Laura Mast is the student that maybe I wish I would have been back in high school. She's caring, she's honest, and not the whole like, oh my gosh, excuse me sir, you dropped your wallet kind of honest, but of course she's like that also. She's the kind of honest that she's the friend that is telling you that you are making bad choices or you need to reevaluate relationships or friendships or situations that you've gotten yourself into, and that is to me the best kind of honesty that you can imagine. And I love that about you, Laura. To say that she is creative is a total gross understatement of her skills. Her journey will continue next year at the University of South Carolina in Columbia, and I am super stoked to get to watch your rise to fame and stardom. I'm incredibly thankful to know you, to be a part of your journey, to watch your success. And you have to remember that I believe in you and you've got this. Laura Mast, love you.
This student is just about the nicest person I have ever known in my entire life. Because I did not have this senior in a class, I had the pleasure of meeting this person in the school hallway when he first enrolled at John Paul II Catholic School. I instantaneously liked him, as I'm sure everybody else did at our school. This student is the kind of person who, without even trying, makes others around him better. And thus, he made our school better, a better place daily. He has an easygoing style and seems to always be wearing a welcoming smile. This senior is wise beyond his years and is an academically and athletically gifted individual who will thrive in whatever it is he is to do next in life. I know this because I had the opportunity to really get to know this person in class last year. He was conscientious and eager in acquiring knowledge and relentless in his effort to deliver his best work. Also got to see the light of God's face in this young man on a day-to-day basis, and my sincerest compliments to his mom and dad on raising a great son. I also want to thank his parents for the genetic contribution of his extremely handsome and extremely awesome ginger hair. May God bless you always and keep you safe. In the palm of his hand, Ray Johnson.
Okay, this student is a quiet individual. In fact, he's so quiet, at times I marked him absent even when he was present. Jacob Collins has always been very respectful and appropriate, when appropriate, knows when to show a sense of humor. I could always count on receiving a pleasant hello, warm greeting from Jacob. He was always the steadying force in the class, but did so by being attentive and disciplined. Jacob is a true team player who does not want to achieve individual success if it means the team does not succeed. His maturity is above reproach. Jacob knows when to be serious and when to inject humor into a class. He will continue to be successful in whatever direction his life takes him after high school. Jacob will always be a positive contributor and a responsible citizen. I have watched him mature and grow as an individual, and I'm very proud to have known him. I wish this young man a very successful future and look forward to hearing good things about him as he continues his journey.
Joella, the time has finally come and the moment you've been waiting for is here. As you get ready to graduate and move on, always remember what JP2 taught you. You always need to stay true to who you are. With your drive, passion, and determination, you can accomplish everything you set your mind to. And that's what sets you apart. It's been an absolute blessing being your coach these past 2 years and to watch the growth you've made as a person and a player. I couldn't be prouder of all of your accomplishments, both on and off the court. Your journey is just beginning, Joella. So here's some advice for you to take with you to college and beyond. Always keep your faith close to your heart. Pray often and know that God has planned great things for you for your future. Keep your sense of humor, for your smile brightens up a room. And keep driving for success, for your accomplishments will be endless. Oh, and never lose your love for Cheez-Its, as they are a cheap and provide a good snack while studying. Remember, you always have me and your JP2 community here with whatever help you may need in the future. I'm incredibly proud of you. I love you and miss you. Good luck at USCB.
There's never a dull moment with this gentleman. Given a simple enough question from a fellow classmate, do you want me to text him to see where he is? You see, he lives a little way out and not always quite to school on time, so I said sure. See where he is so we can get started. A few minutes later, the text comes back. He wouldn't be in class today. He was in the ER. He sent us a picture hooked up to IVs and monitors just in case there was any doubt. Another time he was here to school on time, but his stuff was delayed. He had gone on a trip over the weekend, and the airline has lost his bag with his backpack and his computer and his books and everything else. So you had to give him credit for being at school and trying. Even though he should have been frustrated, he took it all in stride, even cracked a few jokes and pressed on. The best kept secret about Vashon is his knowledge of roadways and interstates. He is truly a walking GPS. You can name almost any eastern city. He could tell you the fastest way to get there, what roads to avoid, and what to do when you get there. He mapped out our class trip to Carowinds just to make sure we got there in plenty of time. He helped navigate us around detours and constructions, and we were on time, all ready to go, all with just his experience. I know wherever a life takes Vashon, with his amazing sense of direction, he'll always be on the right roadway, traveling on ahead, and hopefully this time, not losing his bags along the way.
All right, so hey guys, I'm here to talk about Hope and Jazmin Hamilton. What can I say about these twins except that they are awesome girls? Hope and Jazmin embody all the characteristics of our core values at John Paul II: service, holiness, integrity, excellence, leadership, and diversity. I've been teaching now for 37 years, and I can truly say that these two young ladies are in the top 5% of my all-time favorite students. When I first met them 4 years ago as members of my Lasso house, I was impressed with their characters, personalities, and willingness to do anything for the house that we asked them to, and they often volunteered before we had to ask them to. These two have developed into our house and school leaders by taking part in virtually every type of extracurricular activity here at John Paul II. As students of mine, I'm impressed by their work ethic and fun-loving spirit, smiles on their faces. As student athletes, I have no doubt they will be successful in college and their life pursuits. Hope I know that Brevard College is lucky to have you coming to them in the fall, for you will be a light to the campus with your spirit and your personality. I wish you all the luck in your studies and with your volleyball. Jazmin, I am not sure Converse College is ready for a dynamo like you. They have no idea what they are in store for, but I do. You will take that campus over and make it your own, from your volleyball team to your classes. However, I am not sure that the two of you will be able to survive without being with each other after all these years. I can imagine that you will do a lot of FaceTime, and hopefully you'll get to see each other a lot during your volleyball seasons, maybe on the weekends. To your parents, I just want to thank them for allowing JPII to share in your life for these past several years. What a great job they have done raising you two young ladies. Hope and Jazmin, please don't be strangers to JPII after you graduate, for you will all be dearly missed. Thank you, God bless, and good luck in your future.
Okay, I was introduced to this young man my first year of teaching at JPII, and he was determined to be the class clown. Marcelo was more interested in being the center of attention and the class comedian than a student. After completing a year with him, I felt relieved and I would no longer have him in my class. But lo and behold, I walked into my Algebra 1 class a year later, and there he was. Marcelo left JPII for a year, and when he returned a changed young man. I saw Marcelo now as having matured and become more serious in his work ethics. I now have Marcelo as a senior, and I'm very pleased how he has matured. He knows what he wants, and he has a plan for his life. I have watched this young man mature in his attitude and behavior, and I am proud to see what he has become. I never believed this change could be possible, and I am very happy for it. My prayers and wishes are with him as he takes his place in society.
This is for Logan Markue. Logan, JPII's unofficial greeter. Since Logan got his license, he has been the first one at school, even before Mr. Curry gets there. Logan lets the other early birds into the building, and we thank him for that. When Logan came to JP2, he was a quiet young man, but you could tell he was listening to everything and everyone. But over the years, he became part of the fabric of JP2. Logan has the bell schedule memorized. He has been helpful to all teachers as he is has a sharp, almost steel-clad memory. What is the most special part of Logan is his desire to be helpful and kind. Logan is always the absolute first person of Savio House to make a donation, volunteer to walk in the Christmas parade, be part of whatever we as a house have engaged in. Logan also loves animals, soccer, football, and peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. These are some of the many things that we all will remember fondly about Logan, and we hope that he will remember us as well. Logan has left his mark on JP2, and we are richer for having him. Love you much, and you too, be the miracle.
As a teacher, you plan and pray that the students will find what you have to say is engaging, and somehow they develop a little flicker of a passion for what you are teaching. For this student, she has not only found a passion for a really maybe unlikely topic along her journey with me, but she's let herself be vulnerable and wade into the deep waters that getting out of your comfort zone can bring. I'm perhaps even more proud of her for the journey that she's been on, and maybe even more so than she is. And I should know about the journey that she's been on because I consider myself the foremost authority on the student's journey because I've taught her for 11 classes. Molly Rimbold has become a great collaborator, printmaker, the best yearbook editor we've ever seen, art historian. Did I mention that she actually got a 5 on her art history exam? I didn't want to put that in the video because it might embarrass her. Just kidding, she's super proud of that. She is kind, creative, she holds nothing back. Anyways, she is much more fearless than she gives herself credit for. And I wish you luck, Molly, at Clemson next year, but you won't need it because you'll carve out your own way and figure out your own passion as you have done here at JP2. I love you, Molly Kate.
I still vividly remember the day I met you. You were that precious blonde-headed boy who ran up to my Molly after Mass at St. Peter's, grabbed her hand, and went off to play in the grass outside the Walsh Palmetto room. Noah, I think that's always been your role in my life. It's always you and your exuberant personality running up to me or one of my children, pulling us by the hand and saying, "Let's go." Though many of us would describe you as laid back, easygoing, and dare I say, sometimes too relaxed, you've always been able to turn a situation around with your charm, wit, and teenage wisdom. All of these qualities are just a few of the things I love most about you. Your story will forever be one of determination, faith, and hope. You understand the value of giving back, as I believe that you see and know how much has been given to you. After your diagnosis, you fought hard not to allow it to define you. Additional qualities that I add to my reasons I love Noah list. And just last year, my Sam chose and asked you to be his confirmation sponsor. Sam prayed and prayed about who he was going to ask. As the Holy Spirit often does, he stepped in, planted the seed, and gave Sammy the confidence to ask you to walk with him on this next leg in his journey of faith. Again, qualities to add to my reasons I love Noah list. Please know that I'll be praying for you fervently in the days and years to come. Always remember to listen. He'll be speaking to you about so many things, but most importantly, he'll be whispering to you about how much he loves you. His list of reasons is even longer than mine.
In 2017, I was introduced to a young man, Thong Tran, as he joined John Paul II's first ever robotics team. It was a crazy first year for me, and Thong stepped in as an enthusiastic team member, becoming my right-hand guy, a role he held for the next 3 years. Year after year, on the robotics team and in class, I regarded him as a highly intelligent, hardworking student, a quirky, can't help but love this kid friend to his peers, and all in all, one of the biggest-hearted, caring people I've had the joy of knowing. Many times over the past year, you have asked me jokingly, "Miss Rooney, what are you going to do without me?" Some days I probably had a sarcastic comment, mostly hiding denial that this day was approaching. But today I tell you, when you are not here, Thong, I will pray that you continue to grow in your faith and find your purpose in the field of nursing, because you will do great things. I will pray that everyone that meets you will know the amazing, thoughtful person you are. And I pray that you remember us at JP2 and visit often, because I very much so, will be missing you. Take care, Thong Tran, and when you do return, possibly around Christmas, please do not forget my annual Starbucks card.
You're fine.
One. 3, 2, 1. It is a great honor to speak about Jonathan Berrigan. Jonathan has been in my English classes for the last 3 years. Not only the classes that he was assigned to take, but occasionally those classes that he happened to wander into. I am grateful for this, however, because he has such a great presence and sense of humor wherever he is in our school building. This past year, I also saw him last period, not during an English class, when I wandered to the art room. Whether or not he was enrolled in that art class, I was able to discover and was not surprised by his artistic talent that was on display during that class. Jonathan has offered talent and an abundance of enthusiasm to our school. Whether it's winning the Halloween costume contest dressed as Woody or inspiring his teammates on the soccer field, he has displayed those many gifts, including that of a natural leader. I saw this firsthand as his teacher, but most recently during our great trip on the March for Life. Jonathan's teachers and classmates all appreciate the gifts he has brought to our school. And for me, teaching English has been all the more enjoyable because of his valuable presence. Congratulations, Jonathan.
This student joined us for only 2 short years. Adjectives describing this young man include polite, thoughtful, and both serious and humorous. He is also a student athlete, participating in both soccer and wrestling. I'm not sure exactly what it says, but the fact that he began wrestling as a senior definitely says something about him. I've been told that the other wrestlers were often laughing at his antics and, due to a certain shirt he would wear, nicknamed him N-Mark. Mark is a member of Sebastian House, and it is through this connection that I've come to know him. He is always quick to offer encouragement, guidance, and assistance, and has willingly completed any task given him by the house deans. He gives 100%, whether it's in powder puff volleyball or his studies. One other term that has been chosen to describe Mark is leader, and this is one of the reasons I am honoring him. He has chosen to attend a college that focuses on leadership and that is near and dear to my own heart. Going to the Cedeno is often referred to as taking the road less traveled. Few apply, fewer are chosen, and fewer still make it for the entire 4 years. I have no doubt that Mark Martell, determined, driven, and dependable, will be one of the few who earn the ring. He is using this as a stepping stone for the military. It makes me happy to see a young man of his caliber make this choice. Good luck and Godspeed, Mark Martell. Go Dogs.
This young man has graced my classroom for the last 2 years, and we've interacted both in and out of the classroom. He's an amazing storyteller. It doesn't matter if it's something simple as he and his friend backing into each other, or having a bonfire that ended up burning down a field. He can describe it to where you feel like you're there watching it firsthand. Most of the time, at the end, you're either laughing so hard you're crying, and it's always a loaded question when you ask, "So, how was your weekend?" He mentioned to me last year that he wasn't going to college, but instead wanted a military career. In class, He keeps up with his work, but out of class is where his true focus can be seen. On the football field or the baseball diamond, he is very competitive. From his normal laid-back attitude, you would not think this is a case. He will get others around him also excited and back in the game. He has a knack for creating plays and making you think we're not quite out of it yet. From amazing sacks on the football field to outrageous outfield catches, he can certainly help change the momentum. He will be missed, especially first thing on a Monday morning, and I know he'll continue to have many more adventures, getting trucks stuck in the mud or being chased through a graveyard by Willie Nelson. I can't wait for Josh to come back so I can buy him a drink and just sit back and enjoy the stories I know he will have to tell.
I am going to read this one because this one is a hard one from my sweet Sophie. So it has been 4 years since our sweet Sophie walked into the doors of JPII, a bit shy but ready to join in school activities. As a freshman, she became an inaugural member of the cheer squad, but what she lacked in coordination, she met up for with high enthusiasm and school spirit that she will always carry with her. My dear sweet Sophie is one of the best students I have ever had the opportunity to teach, always completing her homework, doing more than expected, asking questions, working well with her classmates, and studying hard. We can all take lessons from Sophie. Over the past 4 years, I have learned a few things about Sophie. For one, she's a big country music fan. Another thing you should know about Sophie is that she has a beautiful singing voice. She has been part of our JPII choral group and is now a member of her church's choir through their youth group. Many times during class, Sophie and I would sing our favorite songs from movie and Broadway musicals. Her favorite being Wicked and Hairspray, Defying Gravity and You Can't Stop the Beat. Part of high school is making memories that will last a lifetime. Every time I see pretzels, Cheez-Its, Mints, Twix, and Kit Kats, I will think of Sophie, and I know that when she sees the same, she will remember our time in class. The last days of school have been through distance learning, and Sophie's classroom has been her bedroom. Above her bed is a saying which states, "Life is like a camera, just focus on what's important, capture the good times, develop from the negatives, and if things don't work out, take another shot." We have captured the good times with you, Sophie. Love you more.
This next student I have had the pleasure of knowing since she was in the 4th grade. Let me give you a few adjectives and see if you can guess who it is. Outspoken. Outspoken in the best possible way. She shares her ideas, she collaborates, she gives feedback, and she leaves nothing up to guess. She is also an awesome leader. My favorite thing about her is I would say she is a perfect cheerleader. Yes, football cheerleader, but also a cheerleader of her friends, of her classmates, of her teammates, not just her cheer teammates, but all the sports that she's played over the years. But she is one of the people that when maybe if we were losing in a football game, she would rally the people around her, her fellow cheerleaders, those football players, and she would encourage and encourage and encourage them. I love that about you, Gianna, and I know that forever and ever your friends will be blessed to have you in their lives. You are going to kill it this fall at the University of South Carolina, Columbia, in the Honors College. Remember when I said she was an amazing student? And I'm so excited and blessed to be able to watch you skyrocket into whatever it is that you decide to be. Know that I am proud of you, know that I am so thankful for you, and know that I love you.
Colin, congratulations. You have made your mark on JP2. Your spiritual leadership and commitment to daily prayer brought Christ's word and his love to your fellow schoolmates every morning. Your positive attitude, it rubs off on people and it leads them to do the same. Your kindness to everyone you encounter brings light wherever you are. You strive to live the way Christ taught us to live, to love God and to love others. And I certainly can't forget your epic bunny moves. Thank you for your laughter and your joy. I appreciate all the hard work that you helped me with. I certainly could not have done it without you. Enjoy the next part of your journey. And remember, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. Congratulations, Colin.
During his 4 years at John Paul II, Brendan Doherty has made an impression on all his teachers. He's the type of student we all want in the classroom. He's quiet. When he does speak, he is thoughtful and respectful, especially when kindly correcting a new teacher when she calls him the wrong name. She really thought she was correct from years prior when she was a sub. He has a strong desire to succeed, and he'll seek out assistance when needed. Brendan's favorite memories at John Paul II are those spent with friends. He is a very loyal friend. Even when pressured to turn on classmates, he stays steadfast. Just don't touch his stuff. He will reminisce about speech class with his friends. I wish I could have been there to hear some of those speeches. I enjoyed seeing him in the stands at the football games and basketball games, cheering on the school. With the new Zoom world, I have enjoyed seeing Brendan show up from his recording studio and other various locations. He has always been looking forward to leaving high school, and during one of our Zooms, he was asked how they were doing, and Brendan replies, he just wants his diploma already. Brendan is very similar to his favorite graph, according to our graphing assignment, x equals 1. He is constant with his friends, he has a strong desire for success, and his potential is unlimited. Brendan, you will be remembered. Good luck.
This young lady came to JP2 just 2 short years ago, and in that time, she has become an important part of our community. Choosing to switch schools at the start of your junior year is not an easy thing to do. In fact, it is a very brave thing to do. Yet, that is what she did, and she came with an open mind, an open heart, and easily fit into our JP2 family and our cheerleading squad. This young lady is always happy and always has a smile to share. She brings sunshine into any classroom that she enters. I had the privilege of teaching this young lady for only 1 year. However, during that time, she could always be counted on to infuse a feminine perspective in our mostly male-dominated U.S. history class. She would usually just shake her head when the boys would say something silly. It was as if she was letting me know, "Don't worry, Miss Williamson, I get you and I got you." Riley, you chose JP2 and I am thankful. You are a quiet leader, leading by example with your kind demeanor and open mind and heart. You are brave and caring. Your light has touched me and so many others. Go forth into the world and conquer, for you have the strength to do so. May God bless you and thank you for your shining light on me and our entire JP2 community.
Talented, intelligent, and determined. These are words that describe the incredibly special senior that I am honored to present here for you today. I met Megan Shaw in 2018, not as a student, but as part of the stage crew on the school production of Clue. I found her to be serious and reserved. That, of course, was on first glance. I quickly saw that she was quite gregarious. She seemed to know the dialogue better than most of us, including me. The following school year, I had the opportunity to have Megan as a student in my AP Language and Composition class. Megan was on spot when making sure all her work was in on time. I was extremely impressed with how she shared her gift of writing with her classmates as she took some students under her wing, offering extensive feedback to help them become better writers. In addition, I saw that she often assisted with Team Shaw at the concessions at school events, as well as volunteering her time in other play productions, both backstage and in front of the stage. Her dynamic personality has been invaluable in productions, and her input will be greatly missed as she goes forth to the next stage in her life, college. I want Megan to know that I wish her the absolute best and look forward to seeing what she will be able to accomplish in the future. Success.
It is my great pleasure to share with you all today about this young man. I came to JP2 at the same year that he joined this big family. The first time I saw him was in my first ever mentor class. While that was my first year teaching in the U.S. middle school, it was also his first step toward maturity, advanced learning, and the wonderful 6-year experience here at JP2. It's a pity that I didn't get to teach him beyond the ninth grade, but I can tell how much he had grown out of his old self. From a student that once made me headache in class, to a student who always greets me on the hallway using Mandarin. He is a bright young man, passionate, full of cheering spirit and love of God. A wonderful big brother to his younger sister, Andrea. When I saw how he talked to the 7th graders and made connections with them last year in the class retreat, I was amazed. He was fully aware that he could make a difference on these younger ones. In Lasso House, he always stands up first when there's a need of help. His athletic talent is amazing, shining especially in cross-country and soccer games. It is a great loss for our Lasso House that this marvelous athlete is going to leave us. The time of farewell is also the beginning of the new journey. Sebastian Laverde. In these years at the JP2 family, you have lived the best version of yourself, academically, athletically, and spiritually. You know that not just me, but all the teachers and friends here will agree that we are so proud of you, and your names will be remembered. May your dreams of serving the country and living your faith continue to shine on your next step in the Air Force. And may God's grace and blessing be with you all the way.
This young man I have had the pleasure of teaching and the honor of getting to know over the past couple years, watching with delight and seeing his passions shine through. His maturity has shown through in long conversations about multiple subjects. We both have sought each other out when we needed guidance or help finishing some project that was being squeezed by a self-imposed deadline or an APR project. A photography shoot, maybe a video, movie. It will get done. I do blame it on myself, but I'm going to blame it on COVID at the moment. Because Avery, you are passionate, and I've been fortunate enough to see you thrive in the arts, to see your creativity really show through. You're a self-starter when it comes to being creative, and I think that will be your biggest asset going forward in your journey of life and career. I have high hopes for you, and we have talked about success, and that doesn't always mean financial. It can be in the way you choose to live your life, to be open to new challenges, and to be passionate about things you love. I think you will do both, and that will lead to great happiness in your life as long as you stay on your meds. That's an inside joke. He's not. If I had my way, I would keep you around for another year to help out with school videos, promotions, maybe even teaching a class. Someone I could banter with back and forth first thing in the morning, but I know bigger things await you. I wish you all the best. Reach out whenever you need some direction or you just want the cold, hard truth of the matter. Good luck.
This student and I started the same year at JP2, and what a ride it has been. Over the past 5 years, I've had the privilege to watch this young lady blossom from a shy and reserved student to a quiet force to be reckoned with. She has steadfastly participated in whatever capacity necessary on Student Leadership Council and always kept me in line and on time. She never fails to do what she says she is going to do. She is polite but not deferential. She is inquisitive and open-minded and brings a global perspective to the conversation. And much to all of our surprise, a beast on the Sebastian House Powder Puff team. Her ambition drives her to commit to many different things, whether it be AP Studio Art, or Cross Country or Student Leadership Council. Kushi, you have shown me the true meaning of stick-to-itiveness. You never quit Student Leadership Council, always filling the role that was needed, even if it was not the role you wanted. I could always count on you to complete the task, no matter how large or small. I have appreciated all that you have done. Continue to strive for the best, no matter the obstacle, for I know that you can conquer all.
Things I will miss about you. Being one of the best Powder Puff players of all time. If there's ever a Powder Puff Hall of Fame, you need to be one of the first admitted. Awkward silent conversations in the hallways, you calling me weird or you asking me why I'm so weird. But in all seriousness, I will also miss your willingness to participate in anything I ask volunteers for, your quiet, calm leadership, and your work ethic. Although I joke, your ability to accept everyone, even me being awkward, is an incredible quality to have. one that all excellent leaders have. That, along with your cool, calm demeanor, will serve you well in future endeavors. While I could also speak about your incredible basketball career, Takai DeVore, to me you are much more than that. You are an excellent student, a strong leader, and an amazing person. I am so thankful that I have had the privilege of working with and learning from you. I know that others will notice your amazing qualities, and because of that, you will always find opportunities and be successful with them. I will miss you a ton, but I'm so excited for what the future has in store for you. Congratulations.
Over the last 3 years, nobody has driven me more nuts than this student. He's the student that will show up 2 minutes before mass starts with his speaker, his iPad, and his guitar and ask, "Hey, what are we doing today?" Even though you've already shared 2 or 3 emails earlier in the week about song choices and keys. I'm convinced he just likes to see all the color drain from my face as I glare at him from behind the piano. Then he gives you his classic laugh and sets up with maybe 5 seconds to spare. He's the kid that has such great musical talent that you're able to convince your parents to donate a $500 drum set to JP2 so that you and your high school band students can compete at the Skiza Music Festival. He's the kid that drives around with cheesy country music blasting from his guitar with his large American flag hanging out the back. He's the kid that earns a gold medal at the Skiza Music Festival. He's a fantastic older brother who clearly loves his family. His shoe game is majorly on point, and I challenge you to try and keep up with it. He makes genuine connections with everyone he meets. He's a basketball player who has some great one-liners as he's checking into the game. He's unforgettable, and I can't wait to see the mark he makes on the world in the years to come. He is Ethan Prado, and I am so proud to call him my student.
It was 3 years ago that I first met this student. She was a sophomore, new to the school, and she was placed in my Spanish 2 class. She was so quiet, which stood out in a large class of 20 lively kids. And it wasn't until she was in my Spanish 3 honors that I really got to know this student. During our time together, I learned that she is smart, funny, and very creative. For example, I asked the students to make Spanish memes one day in class that represented the grammar structure that we had been practicing. There were some cute submissions, but I loved hers the most. I even have it laminated in my room because it was so witty and well done. It'll always remind me of her and our class's memories together. Fast forward to her senior year, and although I no longer teach her, I see that she has made new friends, played softball, and has become more self-secure. I am so proud of all her accomplishments and the young woman she has become. To end with a quote by Frida, "Las personas hermosas son raras. No se distinguen por la cara, sino por el alma." Zairita. Thank you for always bringing your kindness, your smile, and your big heart to my class every day. Good luck on your next adventure, and maybe someday we can meet up in Mexico City and visit that Freedom Museum we always talk about. Love, Miss Wickert.
Once upon a time, there was a spirited 7th grade young lady who would arrive at school in the mornings as early as the Rimbolds. She would join me in the Commons when I would have morning duty, and I quickly realized that Macy would become my school day sidekick. That year, during one of the days of Catholic Schools Week, students were challenged to dress up as their Catholic hero. Well, Macy came into school that day dressed as me. I can recall thinking, I'm not sure I'm terribly heroic, and certainly not a Catholic hero, but Macy saw me that way, and I was humbled, and I was honored. Macy's journey over the last 6 years, especially her spiritual journey, has made me more clearly see God's plan at JP2. Macy, during your time in Catholic schools, both at St. Gregory and at John Paul, you have taken advantage of the opportunity to learn about your faith, feel Christ's love for you, and grow to develop an intimate relationship with the Lord. As a result of these experiences, you made the very conscious and adult decision to convert and to become a Catholic. You carry a joy within you that is easily noticed and appreciated by all who have the pleasure of meeting you. And I sincerely believe that the light that glows within you is the Holy Spirit. God handpicked you to be one of his heroes at JPII. He knew that you would become a true golden warrior, not just for your school and your friends, but for him and for your faith. He saw the courage and joy inside of you, and he knew that you had what it took to be a warrior. Thank you for showing me what it truly looks like to be a Catholic hero, Macy.
This student doesn't enjoy the spotlight, but certainly deserves billboards declaring her excellence. She has strong faith, volunteers for Catholic youth events across the state, is a wonderful writer, and always has a kind word to say to her peers. Her quiet nature may make some forget she's even there, but then she contributes a thoughtful point or rephrases an objective in such a way that reminds those around her that she's always been listening and coming up with a genius solution to the challenge presented. This student is incredibly studious and has been a joy to have in the classroom for public speaking and band. Last year, the sight of her bringing her large, heavy electric bass and amp wrapped in one arm and a tiny flute in the other would make me chuckle as she teeter-tottered into the classroom. While her two sisters enjoy being center stage, she prefers to help from backstage and to participate with her friends. She's always willing to lend a hand building a set or painting set pieces and has a beautiful artistic soul. She is our Katniss Everdeen on the archery team and was even the team captain this year. She will be greatly missed by myself and those on the JPII faculty. Congratulations, Elena Durrell. I know you're going to do great things at Charleston Southern next year and blow the computer science and cybersecurity world away. Good luck.
I have had the pleasure of teaching and coaching this young man for the last 2 years. When I originally met him, he was quiet, shy, and reserved. Much has changed in 2 years, Rico. I am amazed as you have grown and matured physically, mentally, and spiritually. It has been a privilege to have taught and coached a young man of your caliber. Most will remember you for your shining moments on the football field and the basketball court, and I will certainly remember that as well. But what I will remember most about you is your kind heart, your work ethic, and your selflessness. I think what has most impressed me is that you didn't rely on the gifts that God blessed you with. You recognized your talents, and you worked so hard to add to them, constantly striving to be a better version of yourself. 2 years ago, you were a shy, young high school sophomore. Now you're simply a man, a leader that many people in the community are proud of and look up to. You have a responsibility, Rico. You personally have overcome many obstacles and insecurities, and now it is your time to serve those who look up to you, to help them to be confident, hardworking, trustworthy like yourself. You have left a lasting impact on JPII. Put your trust in God and remember it's only the beginning of great things to come for you. I leave you with this verse, Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand. Love you and miss you, Coach T.
There's a few girls in the audience that I'm sure know exactly who that song is meant for. And the girl that it's meant for, I'm sure, just took away a couple marks, if I had any, as her favorite person. Kaylee, my relationship with you has extended beyond the walls of JPII. In fact, I have never taught you. You were more of an AP calculus student. I'm sure you did the required art classes, but I'm pretty sure you headed straight on to stats. So I get to tell this story one more time. That when we moved and we went to SGG for a tour, Abby was pale white. We were walking around to the classes and we went into St. Agnes's class, and she was very nice and very welcoming. And she said, I'm sure we can find her a seat when you guys return in January. And at that point, Katie Lee stood up and said, well, she can sit next to me. That conversation lasted the next month or so that we were home setting up to move. The kindness that you showed at that moment was part of the conversation that we had in telling our kids of how great of a place that we were moving to. The story of us meeting each other has been strengthened over 9 years. Experiences from volleyball over at SGG, basketball, soccer road trips, and trips to Universal, trips to Texas last year, soccer camps, basketball games at Thomas Hayward, hanging out in my office. Yep, those are some great, fantastic memories. Those are times that when school starts back up in August, I'm going to miss terribly. Sharing all those experiences with you and interactions with you as a coach and a family friend, there is no doubt in my heart that you have one of the kindest hearts out of almost anyone I have ever met. That, along with your love of God, those are your true assets. Let those be your guiding light for your decisions in the near future at USC and the long, joyful road that surely lies ahead of you. I'm gonna miss you.
I have the privilege of honoring a student who was in my class for 10th grade English and AP Literature, but who I have known as a Cole Bay House mentee since she arrived at John Paul II. Rene Delgado is an integral part of our John Paul II community. She is a very hardworking and devoted student, so devoted and excited about learning that she was capable of convincing her mom to follow along with our great reading in AP Literature this year. I have seen many examples of her thoughtfulness and care, the gifts that she offers inside the classroom. But both inside and outside the class, Rene has given to our school. She is a gifted artist, and her valuable work, including a great rendition of another Rene, a Magritte, if I'm not mistaken, was always on display during our school art fairs. She is also a great soccer player, especially valued by her teammates. On the field, or in the classroom, or even at the local bakery, she is shown to be a loyal and trustworthy friend to her classmates. With all of these many gifts, we know that she will continue to prosper. Congratulations, Rene.
What does one say about Miss Tasharan? Let me give you a few adjectives. You are quiet at first, and then you get comfortable, and then watch out. You are smart as all get out. You probably don't want many to completely see that, though. Kind, sitting next to your journalism teacher in class each day, is the epitome of kind. Funny, your sense of humor is spot on. Sensitive, another aspect you probably don't shout out. Tough, it's not out front, but it's there for all the right reasons. During your junior year, you went on your junior retreat. A young, quiet, reserved lady left, and a young, exuberant lady returned. You had a smile from ear to ear. New relationships were formed, a sincere joy experienced. It was a coming together in true JPII retreat form. Did you even know you were so artistic? I hope so. Continue to explore your imagination, Tasharan. There is no limit where your smarts and creativity can take you. You were nominated for Homecoming Court, and you won. There is nothing cookie cutter about you, Tasharan. Continue to surprise, impress, and achieve. Take the leap. Share yourself with others. Do not let them miss out on you, Tasharan. I, for one, am so glad I did not miss out on you.
This student probably doesn't know this, but one of my first memories of JPII and one of the reasons I tried so hard to work here includes them. I was subbing for a history class and they all seemed to be struggling, and this student looked up, clearly stressed, but with the biggest, sweetest smile, and said, "Help us, please." I knew that if most of the students were like this one, that JPII would be a great place to work. I have since watched this student navigate the trials and tribulations of middle school and high school, demanding academic classes, challenging athletic schedules, the ebb and flow of social dynamics, and house leadership. After everything life has thrown at this student, I am so amazed that they are still confident and strong enough to stay true to who they are and keep that same smile on their face. Ms. Frost actually said that this student's smile always brightens up her day, and I quite agree. Mckenna Bern, you are an amazing, strong young lady, and I am not worried at all about where your future takes you, because I know that you will always have your optimism, strength, confidence, and determination. If you get knocked down, I know you'll always pick yourself up with a smile and keep going. Congrats and good luck on the next part of your journey. I will miss you and that sweet smile.
Perfect.
Cool.
Today is a day bound to be filled with many emotions, both happy and sad. So let it be. Let these feelings serve as a reminder that no matter where you may go in life from this very moment, that you have made a family of your own here at JP2. You have changed the lives of others by just simply being in theirs. CJ, you are a young man who is wise beyond his years. It has been an honor to coach and teach you the last 2 years. I have always admired the fact that you had the ability to lift those up around you regardless of the mood you were in. All it took was a smile, a positive comment, a hug or a handshake, and that person left feeling much better about themselves. Another wonderful trait you possess is your selflessness. You were never concerned with playing time, stats, or recognition, only at what you could do to make the team more successful. Leave here knowing that you had a lasting impact on JP2 and are one that will not be forgotten. Remember the love, remember the defeat, remember the laughs, remember the tears, remember the battle wounds, but most importantly, remember never punch a wall in anger. Years from now, you will not remember the wins and the losses of each season, but the classmates, teachers, and coaches that took this journey with you and never let you look back. Thank you for all of your efforts and leadership, CJ. I leave you with this verse, Romans 15:13. May the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. Love and miss you, Coach T.
You may have heard the saying, a force to be reckoned with, and that is exactly what this student is when it comes to our JP2 community. She is a force of school spirit with a love for her school community like none other. In a way, you can say she bleeds the blue and gold for our Golden Warriors. She is creative, artistic, super smart, and an independent young woman. Her light shines brightly. She is a go-to-it and do-it-all person, and she will do it all with a smile on her face. In her 6 years at JP2, she has been a founding member of our cheerleading squad, founding member of FCA, runner on the Girls State Champion Cross Country team, Coal Bay House Captain, Student Leadership Council President, and so much more. She will spin circles around you and film it all for posterity. Her love for life will make you want to jump and join in. Merritt, you are beautiful on the inside. Allow that beauty to shine through. Beneath your smile is a quiet, hidden depth of toughness that drives you to be the strong, independent young woman that you are. Do not allow anyone to eclipse your sun. Go forth into this great big world, knowing that your mark on JP2 will be a lasting one. I know that we have not seen the last of you, and that greatness will always be in your wake.
This young man has graced my classroom for the last 2 years. In this time, I've learned a few things that I'd like to share. The first thing is he really, really loves his music, and this has gotten him into trouble just a couple of times. But it's not what you think with headphones or those AirPods. No, he would go out in his truck on cold mornings to start it up. Problem is there's a good song playing. He'd stay in his car and jam out until the song ends, and if another one came on, he would do the same thing again. And you can see a pattern here. Now he looks at the clock on the dash and realizes he has to leave right now in order to get to school on time. So he throws it in drive and off he goes. It's not until he gets to school when he looks back and realizes his book bag, his gym bag, his lunch are still in the kitchen in the house where he left them. This has happened not once, not twice, but 3 times. Another thing is he absolutely hates to get his feet wet. This may seem strange knowing the amount of time he spends outdoors hunting, fishing, boating. It's so bad he keeps a pair of rubber boots in his truck and will wear them to school for fear of his feet getting wet walking from the parking lot to the building. The last thing about Tyler is he lives for each day. He embraces each opportunity. He values the time he spends with family and friends, and every moment is seen as a gift. Even if it's just doing what he hates, which is math, he will still try to have fun. He has been an amazing mentor for all, and I know that with his love of life, he will continue to have amazing adventures, even if his feet get wet.
Dearest Abby, there is nothing sweeter for a parent or a teacher than to watch a young woman grow and come into her own. 4 years ago, when we first met, you were quiet, reserved, and would, on occasion, throw out a zinger of a barb. Your seriousness is evident in your intelligence. Thankfully, that prowess came from your mom. The ability to see things in a different light than others will truly fare you well. Hold on to that confidence that your voice matters as much as everybody else's. You are so much fun to watch on the basketball court and soccer field. Your determination to excel in the goal, a place not many want to venture into, speaks to your wanting to get the job done, having your teammates' backs, and reveling in being the last line of defense. Do not let these talents fall to the side when concentrating on your studies and military endeavors. While academics and athletics have always been a big part of your world, remember that your kindness supersedes. There is no drama when it comes to Abby Quinty. Your humor is a sign of your intelligence, your ability to see the big picture, and lightens up all situations. God bless you, Abby Quinty. Please don't be a stranger at John Paul II.
It is an honor to come forward and speak about one of the original members of the class of 2020. I prayed for inspiration so that I might find the right words in order to paint a picture of this lovely young lady. As I was deep in prayer, I heard songs playing in my head. As you began at JPII 6 years ago, you encountered a whole new world, just like Princess Jazmin in Aladdin. You jumped in with both feet in order to try everything. You were an important part of establishing the foundation for so many activities, including Sebastian House, the cheer team, the soccer and basketball teams. Where would our theater program be without your presence in The Christmas Carol, Clue, Elf, The Addams Family, and awesome 80s prom? And I can promise you that whoever plays Fiona next fall will most definitely channel their inner jazz in order to pull it off. I feel blessed to have been your teacher in 9th grade and again this year. Your organization and methodical habits have made you a fine scientist. Jazzy, know how blessed I feel to have been a part of your world at JPII. It has been my honor to make this journey with you. And though I can't promise you that there will always be happy endings and great songs breaking out in the background like in Disney movies, I can promise you that if you pack your faith and trust in God, you're almost there.